Global warming is compounding issues such as loss of habitat and extreme atmospheric conditions that have already driven many wildlife species to the brink of extinction. Can researchers, however, predict which creatures will survive and prosper? Sydney University researchers have demonstrated that some species, such as salmon, can quickly adjust to drastic seasonal fluctuations.
As an element of the university's smart urban ecosystem, a global first initiative aims to utilize artificial intelligence to forecast traffic congestion up to 3 hours in advance, streamlining traffic in big cities, and enhancing safe driving. With worldwide rankings, it is routinely placed among the top systems in the world.
The age pension must be raised, according to the bulk of Australians, with many afraid they would not have enough funds once they retire. More than half of those who haven't yet retired are concerned that they won't be able to live comfortably after they quit working. If they were able to acquire their savings early, they would utilize their super for other reasons. We ignore that seeming innovators typically spent years working on less successful ideas, honing their thoughts until they ultimately came up with something genuinely innovative. Almost every great writer, artist, or inventor went through an apprenticeship stage during which they learned how to develop and polish their ideas.
Suspense films have an undeniable ambiguity about them. The director's cinematic world has remained firmly true to its distinct, open-minded style, vintage, symmetrical, and precisely arranged for the previous 2 centuries. After all, the director's vision has a persistent sense of whimsy.
Undergraduate students may participate in specific stages within the program. Undergraduate students may participate in specific stages within the program. People who carry on eating junk food may suffer negative health consequences. People who carry on eating junk food may suffer negative health consequences. Some survey shows only subtle differences in happiness between people. Some survey shows only subtle differences in happiness between people. To gain full marks, an appropriate bibliography is required. To gain full marks, an appropriate bibliography is required. American have progressively found the growth in quantitative terms. American have progressively found the growth in quantitative terms. Geography is generally divided into two branches, human and physical. Geography is generally divided into two branches, human and physical. Water taps on the campus will discourage the frequent use of plastic bottles. Water taps on the campus will discourage the frequent use of plastic bottles. The library holds substantial collection of materials of economic history. The library holds substantial collection of materials of economic history.
This graph shows that globally, messaging apps were significantly more popular than social networks by 2017, with roughly 3,750 monthly users, as opposed to around 3,250 monthly users on social networks. In fact, the number of monthly users for messaging apps started to exceed the number of social network users in 2014. From then on, the number of users for social networks increased steadily, whereas the number of users for messaging apps rose more rapidly.
This chart shows that between 1996 and 2018, global spending on luxury items grew significantly from about 80 billion to about 260 billion euros. At first, there was a steady increase up until the year 2000, when spending remained the same for a few years. Then, in 2004, spending began to climb rapidly again before a noticeable fall in 2009. From 2010 onwards, global spending seemed to recover. After 2016, the spending remained at almost the same level.
The bar chart shows the number of small and large farms in 3 countries. Small farms are 50,000 square metres or less, and large farms are 500,000 square metres or more. Country C has the largest number of small farms and the lowest number of large farms. Country B has the same number of small farms as large farms, while Country A has the fewest farms with only 300 in total.
Today's session is about a feature of TV production called canned laughter, a recording of a studio audience laughing inserted into a program. So the finished product sounds as if the studio audience is laughing along as the action unfolds. There are several reasons for the use of canned laughter, which we can divide into technical reasons and creative ones. In terms of technical aspects, canned laughter compensates for the unpredictability of live studio audiences. For instance, some individuals might laugh too loudly or in what producers consider to be the wrong places, or they might even clap and cheer, all of which can interfere with the scene. And of course, canned laughter is also needed when scenes take place outside a studio. However, canned laughter is also believed to enhance the program itself. Research has shown that the inclusion of canned laughter can actually change people's perceptions of what they're watching. It's been demonstrated that viewers are more likely to laugh or have a favourable impression of a scene when they can hear other people laughing. So, canned laughter is great news for television executives that crave high ratings. Of course, as viewers' tastes in comedy have changed, many shows have moved away from the use of canned laughter. Nevertheless, it remains an effective and familiar aspect of TV comedy.
Canned laughter is a sound recording of people's laughter which is added to make it appear as if a live audience is responding directly to the scene. As studio audiences can behave in unexpected ways, canned laughter is a way of getting laughter in the right places and is also used when a scene is shot away from a studio. Research has shown that canned laughter can also make a program seem funnier to viewers. People are more likely to laugh when they hear canned laughter during a program. Use of canned laughter is becoming less common, but it's still an important element of TV comedy in many countries.
Today, we're looking at the study options available to students after completing school. And the two main choices are higher education and further education. Higher education basically means studying for a university degree. This involves detailed study and is usually theoretical in nature. That said, the skills students learn can be used in many different careers, so companies are eager to hire graduates. However, remember that degree courses are long and costly. Conversely, further education focuses more on practical skills rather than theoretical knowledge. These courses prepare students for a specific job, such as training to be a chef, and offer great practical work experience opportunities. However, as the skills learnt on further education courses tend to be more specialised, they cannot be transferred to other types of career very easily. As you can see, it's important to compare the pros and cons of higher and further education carefully before making a decision.
Students who wish to continue their education after finishing school have two main options, namely higher or further education. Higher education involves studying for an academic degree. Students develop various skills that can be applied to many different professional contexts, so degrees are valued by employers. However, they are time-consuming and expensive. By contrast, further education trains students for a specific vocation. Students get practical work experience and learn the skills they need for a specific job, although they might not be able to transfer these skills into other professions later.
When is a nocturnal animal active? What do we call the round ring of rubber around the wheel of a car?
What does water do in extremely cold temperatures?
What do we call the pair of objects used to play drums with?
What do we call the distance around the outside of something round?